Hello guys and welcome to TRRL. This is round 8 of season 3. So let's get straight into this. Obviously first things first, I have to mention our sponsor, which is Simracer. Thank you very much for sponsoring our league, helping towards the prize fund of the Division 1 rewards. Now obviously this is Division 2. If they get promoted at the end of the season, they will have a shot at that prize money. So thank you very much for sponsoring us, Simracer. But enough of that, let's get straight into the session now. The timer keeps glitching out. There we go. So we'll just wait for the drivers to hop out on track, but obviously it's been a 2-week break over Christmas, so I've been having to do no commentary, which is, I'll say, rather boring. It's made my Saturdays boring. I've had nothing to do. No, I'm kidding. I've had a whale of time. Now having to speak to myself for an hour and a half. I'm just kidding. Right, let's hope I don't forget certain things, and let's see what I can and can't remember to do. So we'll just wait for the first driver to pop out on track. Obviously this is round 8 and I believe there are 12 rounds. So we are 2/3 of the way through the season, which is very coming to the end of it already, which has gone rather quickly, I must say. Obviously the next tracks are Jeddah, Russia, Japan and France. So this is round 8, this is Bahrain, and well, we have got a dry qualifying, which I would hope for. I mean, I'd be rather surprised if we didn't get a dry qualifying, because it is a desert. But you never know, there has been a time where I've seen rain on this track, but very rare. So we'll just wait for the drivers to hop round. Now I'll also go through the championship tables for you if I can find them. Jeez, it has been a while. Right, there we go. So apparently we do have James leading the way with 149 points, and and he is followed by LH44 in their Alfa Romeo of 119, a gap of 30. And then Jasper is just behind them with 102, a gap of 47 to James. So obviously the way this works is the top one driver automatically gets promoted into Division 1 out of Division 2 and 3, so they are equal divisions. And then the second driver out of Division 2 and 3, the one that has scored the most points, I believe, will then go through. So 3 come down from Division 1 and 3 go up from Division 2 and 3 combined. But anyway, we will now commentate on LH44's hot lap as he is just beginning to to start his hot lap. He has decided to go for the medium compound tyres, so we'll see how that plays out for him. Obviously I believe Bahrain is a 2-stop strategy, so we'll see how he goes. So it looks like he'll be going to go long on his first stint, but this corner is very tricky, but it looks like he has got it good enough. Obviously you want to use as much curve on the second bit of that corner to try and gain as much speed, but at the same time you don't want to run wide and invalidate your lap. Now it's looking good so far. We'll see what time he is set through sector 1. Now that is, I can't see because someone keeps commenting, but I don't know what time he set through sector 1, but we'll have to keep an eye on somebody else. But that is a yellow sector, and that's Vano, just like he's lost it at the beginning of sector 2 through the edge section. So that will be his qualifying session over, and he will be starting P18 unless other drivers do crash throughout the rest of this qualifying session. So that's not a great start for that AlphaTauri driver of Vano. He's not going to be happy starting at the back of the grid. But anyway, LH44 looks to be putting in a rather neat lap, I must say, with these medium compound tyres. He's making it look like the consistency is definitely there. It doesn't look like to be an amazingly strong push lap, but ooh, what's happened here? It's just LH44 has left the session. Ah, don't tell me the lobby's glitched out. What's happened? He's just disappeared. Oh no. Oh, what's happened to LH44? He was almost finished his lap, now he's back in the garage. Right, we will now comment on, there's a Red Bull coming across the line, I believe that is Blyther, and he's about to set the first hot lap of the session. It's going to be a 1:27.5 they are all chasing. Now that is a rather decent lap to put down for the start of the session. Now I don't know what a good lap is in quali. I know in time trial I was setting a 1:26.4, I just want to brag. So I'm 1 second quicker than Blyther, but I don't know if the quali pace is the same as the time trial pace. We'll see throughout the rest of this session. Now I believe that is Joe. No, it is Jasper. Jasper will be coming across the line rather shortly on the medium compound tyres. He sets a 1:28.4, so a good time set from the Aston Martin driver to move his car up in the P2 on the medium compound tyres. Now that is a hat, and note that's a Mercedes. That will be That'll be James coming across the line to set a 128.6. He has also decided to opt for the medium compound tyres at the start of the Grand Prix so far. So he is only 2 tenths off Jesper, who's also just started on the medium compound tyres. Now next across the line will be a Haas, and that is Saki going into the pits. Now we have a McLaren also coming across the line. That is Scrolled. He is set a 129.2 on the soft compound tyres. George goes onto a 128.1 on the soft compound tyres. Now next across the line will be another Mercedes McLaren. And that would just be Nilla starting his hot lap. So we'll now hop on board with Avex. I believe that is coming around the final corner to set his lap. It's going to be a 129.1 that moves him up in the P6. And now Monkey Mafia does set the fastest lap of the race, and he is on the soft compound tyres with a 127.4. So the Alpine driver moves up in the P1, but shortly lived that Red Bull or Blyther comes back to take the provisional pole straight back from Monkey Mafia with a 127.3 recurring. Next across the line, it does look like it is a Mercedes, but I believe James has invalidated. So next, it will be an AlphaTauri. Now, is that spillage on his in lap, or is he going for another hot lap? LH44 appears to be having some connection problems. But this does look like a hot lap from Spillage, so we'll see how he's doing. No, it's not. He's 3.5 seconds behind. Right, next will be George. Now I believe this will also be an in lap. That's a lot of drivers all set their out lap altogether. In fact, no, George is 2 tenths up on his time, so we'll see what he does throughout this final sector now. He does need to find 2 tenths in this final sector to add to his 2 tenths advantage he already has on his current time to even move up into P3. But we'll see what he sets as he comes across the final straight now. And over the finish line, Alfa Romeo driver will set at 127.8, so he's 1.5 tenths off going up to P3. I'm sure he can find that throughout the rest of this lap. Nilla comes across the line to, I believe, set at 129.7, or is that already set? I'm not too sure. Now, that was a Haas coming across the line as well. Have they just started their hot lap? Yes, they have. Saki has just started his hot lap, and No, and Aston Martin just came into the pits. Now we have a Red Bull also coming into the pits. Now I believe that would be Apex. And then we have 2 Alpines behind them. Or is that? Yeah. No. Yes, 2 Alpines behind them. But 1 Alpine has gone on. So that would be Webster. No, that's a Williams, sorry. So it looks like Webster will now be starting his hot lap. We'll stay on board with him for the first start of his sector 1 and see how he gets on. Then we'll jump on board with the Alpines and see what time they set as they come across the line. Because I believe Curly is on an out lap. Never mind. And the Monkey Mafia is in the pits. They look the same colour, no? It'll be Marshall. He is also on an out lap, and there'll be a Ferrari coming across the line as well. So we'll stay on board with Webster a little bit longer, and we'll just have a look at his lap times. And he currently does set fastest sector 1. Now I don't know if that's just a glitch in the game, but we'll go by here set fastest sector 1 so far. So looking good for the Williams driver so far on the soft compound tyres. And LH44 does appear to be having connection problems, which isn't ideal for him, but hopefully he can get them sorted out before the race. But anyway, Webster now looking good as he comes into turn 11, now onto turn 12. The long right-hander, very easy to slip out and lose the front end actually on the curve in front. So, I did not see what time sector 2 done. I was too busy looking at my laptop seeing what corner number it was, but we see what time Webster produces as he crosses the line. Now he sets a 128 flat, which puts him up into P6. A good job from him. Moves him up into P6. Now I believe that was Blyther. No, that was Apex. Just starting their hot lap. They're going to try and improve on their time. Now Marshall, what time can he set, as he has not set a time yet, so he's going to come across the line, and shortly after him will be Twitch TV Curly, who will also set time. So Marshall moves up into P4 with a 127.7, and Curly will take P11, the first of the fresh tyre runners, with a 129 flat. Now behind them is that Mr. He's started his hot lap, park in the danger spot, and because of that he has been disqualified. Anyway, we now have a Red Bull. The stream will sort itself out in a minute, or it is sorted out, but there is 6 minutes left of this session. Currently James is sat in P1, Blyther will be in P2, Monkey Mafia is currently sat in P3. Now, who is starting their hot lap? It looks like Scrolled in the McLaren is starting his hot lap. He is on the soft compound tyres. We'll stay on board with him throughout his whole hot lap and see what he can do, see if he can move up from P13, which is his current position. So going through turn 1, 2 and 3 right now, it's looking good so far. You're obviously very difficult to keep the back end through there. Sometimes it can be rather difficult, as we saw Mazepin in the Haas in the first round of the 2021 season. But anyway, so McLaren now on the sector 2 straight and going into turn 11. Now this is where the long right hander is, and obviously you don't want to clip the curb on this long right hander. It does stay very wide from the curb, so he does in fact invalidate his lap. He does set fastest sector 2 though, and he was 1.6 seconds up on his lap time. That would have been enough to put him in to P6 as it stands, so decent from Scrolled there. And I believe the stream is sorting itself out slowly, which is what we like to see. And I believe that's all getting better. Okay, that's good. Don't normally have connection problems. Not too sure why it's struggling today. But hopefully it will sort itself out before the race, as that is the bit we all want to watch. Right, I believe the stream is now sorted out. Sorry about that little period where I was too busy trying to sort out the stream, but I believe I have sorted it all out, which is lovely. So Blyther does set fastest at the 1, so I didn't even know I was on board with Blyther, but we will now stay on board with Blyther, as he has got 6 tenths to find throughout his lap time, but we'll see if he has the speed in the Red Bull to be able to do so, to be able to knock off the Mercedes from the top spot, as it looks like he is backed off from his lap. Maybe he messed up one of the corners and is now just relaxing a little bit and doesn't want to be pushing the car too hard till he crashes. Probably going to go again for another lap. But I believe that is a Haas on an out lap. That will be Mr. Miggins just going by, getting ready for his hot lap. He's currently down in P12 as it stands. That will be Marshall retiring from the session. Was that in the pits or on the track? It looks like it was in the pits, so he's obviously happy with his time and he has not crashed out. So let's see what time. No, Mr. Miggins is also going to come into the pits. But now, will Blyther go out for another hot lap? We will stay on board with the Red Bull driver and see if he can take back his pole position for the 3rd time this qualifying session. Doesn't use all the curb on the exit of turn 3, but it's looking good so far, as now he enters into turn 4. You want to carry as much speed through here as possible, but you don't want to run wide on the exit there. So he is 1/10 up on his time, and to make his life difficult, James has gone and set a very fast time indeed. Looks like James there has... Oh, I've already said that. 1 second quicker than Blyther. Blyther did lose the back end a little bit through the S section, as we saw him drifting out of one of the corners. So it looks like James is going to take pole position quite comfortably here in Bahrain. As Blyther is currently only 1/10 up on his time. We'll see as he goes through sector 2 whereabouts he is on his time. He's 1.5 temps down, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to improve on his time, and he does invalidate. So James looks like he's got P1 quite comfortably here, and he's just getting out of the way of a few of the drivers. So we'll go on board with Twitch TV Curly and see if he can move up into the top 10, as he is currently in P11. Now P11 isn't a bad spot to be starting in, being able to start on fresh compound tyres. It definitely does make your race a little bit more interesting strategy wise. And it's like Blyther has retired from this session. He has had enough of trying to chase down James and knows he can't go any faster than what he has done, so he's going to settle for P2 as it stands unless somebody takes that off of him. So Curly comes across the sector 2 line and he is 7 tenths up on his time. This could be looking at a P8, no, a P9 for Twitch TV Curly as it stands. I believe that was Jesper who just came, no, Joe who just came across the line with a 126, and Jesper has just gone for a 126.4, 1/10, half a tenth away from James. Twitch TV Curly moves back up into P11, and that's not a bad spot to be starting in the race, like I said. And now we do have a few drivers still left on the hot lap. So who looks like Nilla has lost it on the long right hander at turn 12 or 13, that is. So that's not good for him. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way of any of the drivers. Looks like Joe has finished his lap. Webster is on a hot lap and he is 4 tenths up on his time currently. So we'll see where he can go, see if he can move up into the P3 spot. The Monkey Mafia is also nearly 1/10 up on his time. We'll see whether Williams driver can put his car. He only needs 1/10 to move up into P3. Has he got the speed to do so? No, he hasn't. He is 4 thousandths off go at 400ths. 400 thousandths, tenths, hundredths, 400ths off going into P3. But we'll hop back on board with Webster now. Oh, he's 6 tenths down on his time, so it doesn't look like he is going to be improving. Jasper looks like he has also finished. Joe obviously has finished as well. So I believe this is where everybody will be sitting now, and that will be your qualifying over, as no other driver is improving on their time. So James does take pole position. Jesper takes P2, and Blyther does manage to take P3, only narrowly just ahead of the Monkey Mafia, so the start is going to be very interesting between them two, and obviously at the front of the grid as well. Yes, I believe I have sorted out the stream, which is fantastic. It means you can all listen to me. What you all came here for, right? So I believe we'll just be waiting for Twitch TV Curly to come into the pits. No, that will be a Williams driver. No, it will be Twitch TV Curly. Just pop into the pits and then we will be jumping into the race. Now at least I got a good feeling about this race. So we will wait for the drivers to get into the pits. Obviously the mechanics at, I believe, Curly is Alpine, right? Yes, I hope so. Just to push the car into the pits a little bit quicker, we're also waiting for the Aston Martin drivers, the mechanics of Jesper, to push that car into the pits, and then we'll be underway in the race. Obviously there is no formation lap anymore, so it'll be straight in, and it'll be looking forward to this race. So there is your qualifying highlights. 4,000 at 400ths separate, no, 1/10, 400ths separate Jesper from pole position, and then for P3, 4,000ths also separate P3 and P4. So James in P1, Jesper in P2, Blyther P3, Monkey Mafia in P4, Marshall in P5, Webster in P6. Marshall is stuck in a Williams sandwich there. Joe will be starting in P7, Spillage in P8, George in P9, Nilla in P10. Now the first of the fresh tyre runners, Curly in P11, Apex in P12, Mr. Miggins in P13, Scrolled in P14, Saki in P15, Kreese and Anime in P16, Vano in P17 after crashing out in qualifying early on and not being able to set a time, and LH44 having a few connection problems and being disqualified for, obviously, I believe he disconnected and it parked him in a dangerous space. So we will wait for the drivers to pick their setup. Strategy. They cannot pick their setup. Their setup has to be the same from qualifying, and obviously they'll be picking their strategy. Obviously, outside the top 10, you will be able to change your strategy a little bit more than the people inside the top 10, and also be able to change their fuel load. So here we go, straight into the race now. It's 4 lights, 5 lights. And they are underway here in Bahrain, and James looks to get a very good start. Blythe doesn't appear to get a very good start as he would have wanted to. The Monkey Mafia is going to be looking to try and go up the inside of the Red Bull driver. And that is an Aston Martin driver, absolutely send it down the inside. That is Joe, I believe. And that is an Alpine that has spun it. That is Marshall, it looks like. There's been some contact at the back there, that involving Marshall, Spillage and Saki. Not too sure what happened, but Joe has sent it down the inside and has been rewarded for that, I believe. And that was a very bold, optimistic move, but he has managed to move his Aston Martin up into P4 already. Now, Blythe did manage to keep into P3, surprisingly. I didn't think he got too good of a start, but he must have positioned his Red Bull rather well on the entrance of that corner in going into turn 1. I think I've COVID. This ain't good. Let me have a drink. So I will get up for you the lap data and the position change. We can see Marshall has dropped down 10 positions, Spillage dropped down 8, and Kelly dropped down 3 as well. So it looks like Spillage and Marshall must have made contact going into turn 1, and because of that, I believe we're spun round. Vano has moved up 10 positions. I'm not sure how he has done that, but that must have been magical. LH44 has also moved up 9 positions. So a very good start from both of them. And you can see the predicted pit strategy there. Soft, medium appears probably to be the fastest one now. I wonder if we'll see any soft mediums during this 29 lap race. As I don't know what strategy I'm going for in Division 1 yet. So I need these guys to tell me what strategy is going to be quickest. But here we can also see the tyre compound that are on. So Vano being on the medium tyres up in the P7 already is such an advantage for him. He might be looking at trying to score some very good points this race. But we will now wait for... It looks like Nilla has retired in the pits. I'm not too sure. Did Nilla crash out? Did I miss something? I think Nilla did crash out, didn't he? I think I missed something. Now that I think about it. Let me have a look. Hold on. Yeah, Nilla crashed out. I didn't see that. So that's unfortunate for the McLaren driver. Already out in the first lap of the race. Not what he would have wanted. But he'll be pleased to know his teammate Scroll is running in 8th currently. He is on the soft compound tyres though, so he is currently last out of the soft compound runners. So he might not be in the best of the strategies currently, but obviously a safety car can change a lot of things. So that's mine, currently leading the way. I'm talking about the safety car, and then it's followed by the Mercedes and then the Aston Martin of Jesper. Red Bull of Blythe currently separates the 2 Aston Martins that are currently in P2 and P4. Monkey Mafia and Webster, currently the 2 Williams, are running in 5th and 6th. They are putting on a very strong display. I believe this is one of their first or second races in TRRL. in Division 2. I believe the Webster did drive in Division 3 around before. But it's been quite a while, so I can't remember who's been with us and who not. I believe Mr. Miggins has not raced with us yet. So a few new drivers in Division 2 currently, and we'll see where they can end up throughout this 29 lap race. So 2 laps gone so far, now going on to the 3rd lap. Obviously being behind the safety car is rather entertaining indeed. But I wonder what strategy people are going for now. I imagine the medium compound tyres runners will be looking to go medium hard. So we'll see how that plans out for them. And the soft compound tyres runners, I'll be surprised. Soft hard possibly could be the strategy they're aiming for, or maybe soft medium. I don't know if soft medium is possible, but we will find out and see if any driver goes and does it, and then if they do, we obviously know that it might be possible and they're giving it a go. So hopefully the safety car will only be in for one more lap. We'll be going in this lap, and then we'll be able to get under racing once again. Now obviously this safety car is only helping the soft tyre runners as they are being able to save tyre life, and because of that, it's making possibly a soft medium strategy come into the conversation here. And well, even the medium compound tyre runners will be able to chuck on soft tyres at the end of the race. So I mean, strategy is very key in this game. So we'll see what comes from it, really. So we'll pop this away so we can see a little bit more of the screen. And I wish there was a way I could get rid of the menu. Ah, I'm a genius. There we go, that's what it is. So, the Monkey Mafia and Joe have picked up a 5-second time penalty for a collision. Now it looks like James has now put his foot down. Looks like Jesper was a little bit late to react there, being 6 tenths already away. Blyther has reacted well. Joe is in P4 currently. Looks like Monkey Mafia has decided to come into the pits. Joe's not going to be happy at that 5-second time penalty. He's not going to be able to get it removed either. And it's like the AlphaTauri driver of Vano might have been lining up a move there onto Webster, but it wasn't close enough to do so. Now, Joe is on the back of Jesper here at Blyther, sorry. He is only 3 tenths away. Now we do have other drivers as well, like LH44. He is on the back of the McLaren driver. Will he make a move? No, he will not. So we'll stay on board with Joe currently as he is on the back of the Red Bull, but unfortunately he will not be able to get that 5-second time penalty removed because he'll be serving it under the pit stop that he's got to do. So that's going to affect his race massively, which is really unfortunate for him. But anyway, will he be able to make a move on the Red Bull going down this straight now? We do in the background see the Williams driver, and we can see there LH44 also looking like he is lining up a move on the McLaren. Is he going to be close enough? Doesn't look like it. The McLaren, it has got pretty much the same ERS amount as the Alfa Romeo driver, and Scroll is a pretty consistent driver, so he's going to be a little bit tricky to get past for LH44, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. Now let's go through and tell all the drivers everybody's ERS so everybody watching gets an advantage. I'm joking. Right, anyway, Joe looks to be a little bit too far back to make a move, but here we can see LH44 has got past Scroll somewhere. I did not see this, but it looks like he's going to now make a move on Vano going into turn 1, but it looks like Vano is burning through a lot of ERS. Now, looks like LH44 isn't going to go to make a move going into turn 1, but he might look to make the move going into turn 4. Now, will it be close enough to Vano? I think he will. He gets a very good exit indeed. Now, LH44 is going to have a very good opportunity here. Vano's going to defend the inside line, almost pushing LH44 off the track there. Needs to be a little bit careful as to where LH44 is, as that could have ended very badly. Scroll would have absolutely loved them two to collide. But LH44 is still currently behind Vano. You can see Vano losing a little bit there, and looks like LH44 now is going to try and go around the outside of the hairpin. Scroll is now coming back into the equation due to these two battling. But looks like LH44 is now going to go for another move going into turn 10, I believe this is. He does look to get a very good exit out of there, or here we go. This is going to be it for LH44. This is the wrong camera angle, and it's a virtual safety car. Wow. LH44 is currently chasing down driver after driver. Obviously, we do know he is currently sat in P2 in the Drivers' Championship, and obviously starting P18 due to Wi-Fi really wasn't helpful for him. So anyway, under virtual safety car, we'll see if anybody decides to pit. I'll be very surprised if they do. Now, I believe Marshall, the Monkey Mafia, and Miggins, Mr. Miggins might have came together. And it looks like Blyther has decided to pit. Now, what tyres is Blyther going to decide to go onto is the question. What tyre will that be? That'll be the soft compound tyres that he's looking to go onto a medium compound tyre at the end of this race. So anyway, we'll now hop back on board with LH44 and see if he can make any moves going down this main straight, as he is currently chasing down Vano, who's currently sat in P5. Vano's doing a very good job indeed being able to keep that P5. He does look to be going a little bit sideways sometimes, maybe from a little bit of a pressure from LH44 in the Alfa Romeo. But LH44 is going to want to get past Vano as quickly as he can. And you can see the braking difference between Vano and LH44. A little bit later, LH44 brakes probably 5 meters, 5 to 10 meters a little bit later than Vano. So is LH44 now going to be able to get past Vano with the DRS advantage? Vano is going to stick to the outside line. It's like LH44 is going to get the move done, and it's like Vano's going to fight this one back, and Vano's actually got the move back from LH44 as they go around the long right-hander at turn 12. What a move that was from Vano to be able to reclaim the position. And now Scrolled once again is on the back of these two drivers, but LH44 for a second that he thought he got the move done, Vano was like, no you haven't, and he has got the move redone on LH44. Now is LH44 going to be able to get past Vano on the main straight? And I believe he will with the DRS advantage. Now will Scroll also be able to make a move on Vano? Maybe on the next straight, but it looks like LH44 is going to breeze ahead of Vano indeed. But will Scroll now be able to make a move? He does have a Ferrari right behind him as well. So these drivers are all battling for P5 currently. Definitely all close together. This is very entertaining indeed. But looks like Vano has now got DRS on LH44, so this might turn into a DRS train with LH44 at the front, and we do know LH44 is a very quick driver, but it looks like Vano has made a little mistake. Will Scroll go to make a move? No, he will not. And you can already see the gap LH44 has formed between him and Vano, so Vano might be starting to struggle now a little bit without DRS, and the car behind him always having DRS. So we'll see if Scroll can make a move going into turn 11 shortly. It looks like the Ferrari a little bit outbrake themselves there, but we see now it looks like he isn't close enough to make a move. But it looks like Spillage might be making a move on Cruise and Anime. It looks like Marshall has retired from the session. It looks like he has lost it coming out of turn 3. You can see just on turn 3 on the left side of the track at sector 1, he has lost it. Not sure whether. That's a very odd place to crash. Looks like Joe has picked up a drive-through penalty, and wow, that was very close from Jesper, nearly hitting the back of James there. But it looks like James is going to go onto the soft compound tyres. Looks like they're going for the two-stop strategy. What is Jesper going to do? Jesper's gone onto the medium compound tyres. LH44 has stayed on, so he will now be leading this race on the medium compound tyres. Vano has also decided to stay on, so this is became very interesting now indeed, as James is LH44 might be looking at the lead here, as James is going to have to clear Vano and Spillage, and we know LH44 will only have to pit once being on the medium compound tyres. if he goes on too hard, so I'd imagine at the end of this race maybe he's looking to go for a 2-stop strategy. But LH44 is now in a very nice position indeed, with having James down in P4, Curly is in P5, Jesper's in P6. We'll get their tyres up for you. I don't know why we're looking at their stops. So Vano and LH44 are both yet to stop. You can see their tyres here, so we have a few drivers at the back going on the hard tyres. They're looking to go for the end of this race now on those tyres. Blyther and James are the only two to put on fresh soft compound tyres, so those two might be looking to try and make ground and work their way back up. And obviously I believe other drivers have gone for the medium compound tyres, so they're going to go for the one-stop strategy here. So we'll keep an eye on what Jesper does and Scroll, as these two I know are definitely, and Joe, they're all on a one-stop strategy as of right now. James and Blyther have decided to go for a two-stop strategy. But here you can see the position changes. LH44 has managed to move up 17 positions, Vano up 15 positions, Spillage 5, James has moved down 3, but he's got fresh compound tyres on. And yeah, well, you can see the rest of them, you don't need me to read them out. Monkey Mafia has moved down 10 places, so he's not having the best of races he would have wanted. But we'll pop this away now, and oh, there we go. Joe does have a drive-through penalty, which isn't going to help him one bit at all. He's not really having the best of races today, is he? I believe he did get hit as well from another driver. I can't actually remember who it was. I think it might have been the Monkey Mafia under safety car, and because of that he got given a 5-second time penalty, which wouldn't have helped him one bit. So it looks like the safety car will be staying out for one more lap now. So we'll just wait for the safety car to come in this lap, but hopefully everybody's caught up. Don't see why it wouldn't come in this lap, but sometimes the game likes to make us wait. And I've just seen the footage of near the crash, and it looks like somebody did go at the back of him turn 1, and because of that he went straight into the car in front and lost his tyre. So that is how Miller retired from the Bahrain Grand Prix into turn 1. Not entirely his fault at all, in fact not his fault at all, so that's really unfortunate for him. But this gives me time to go take a drink. Yippee. So safety car is in this lap, perfect timing. So LH44 will decide when the rest of the drivers do get underway here. And it looks like he is underway now. And Vano has got a decent start. Spillage is already under threat from James. James looking to go down the inside of Spillage. He's not going to need to. He's got the move done before the turn. And behind him it looks like Jesper as well has made a move on Twitch TV Curly. He's looking to chase down James now, and it's like LH44 has lost it. He was leading this race and he's lost it on turn 3. That's now him down into the bottom 15th place. James has moved up into P1. What a start it has been for James, clearing Vano and Spillage along the safety car restart. Jasper has moved up one position, going into P6 now. So we will stay on board with Jesper, as I imagine he'll be looking to get past Spillage and Vano as quickly as possible, as being on those medium compound tires, you do not want to be stuck behind other drivers. And it looks like Monkey Mafia Apex does. What's going on over here? Looks like these two are swapping places. That's other drivers as well, side by side. I believe that's a Red Bull. Blyford looking to go down the inside of Twitch TV Curly. Is he going to get the move done? Yes, he is. Life is now up into P6. Now Twitch TV Curly might be under threat as well from Webster, and looks like Webster also gets past. Twitch TV Curly is losing positions left, right and centre currently. He might even be under threat from Scroll. Going down this main straight, will Scroll have enough speed? Looks like Scroll isn't going to try and make the move. But now we'll hop aboard with Jesper as he's looking to make a move on Spillage going down the main straight. James sets the fast lap of a 129.9. So Spillage now is making a look move on his teammate Vano. And he goes down the inside. Does Vano let him pass almost? Yes, he do. They do bump wheels a little bit, and because of that, has Jesper just picked up damage? I'm not too sure, but it looks like Blythe is trying to get past Jesper as well. Vano, it looks like Jesper's going to go for a lunge down the inside there at turn 4, and he's got the lunge done. Now because of that, Blythe is going to try and capitalise on Vano being stuck behind Jesper a little bit. Vano's losing places as well. Looks like Webster's nearly got past Vano. It looks like now Jesper and Blythe will be looking to get past it. The safety car. What's happened? It looks like Crescent Anime has lost it at turn 4 on the right there. You can see his car in the wall on the right there. Looks like he has lost it on the exit of turn 4, and because of that he is now in the wall and out of this race. So James will be pretty annoyed with that safety car restart, obviously being so far ahead on the medium on the soft compound tyres. We already made a gap of 4 seconds. That gap will now be closed down to less than a second. Now this will be good news for the one-stop strategy runners, as obviously their tyres will be able to last longer. Mr. Miggins does pick up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Now who's going to go in? Is that Spillage? That is Spillage going in. Blythe, it looks like he is also going into the pits now. He looks like he'll probably be popping on the medium compound tyres. So this is going to be Jesper now, right behind James. Looks like Webster is also staying out. He is also on the medium compound tyres. Twitch TV Kelly is also staying out. He's 9 lap old mediums, and Apex looks like he's not going to be pitting again, being on 3 lap old hards, and just behind him is also Saki, who's on 5 lap old hards. So the two, the Hat and the Red Bull right now could be sat in a very nice position being on the hard compact tyres. Obviously they will have the pace disadvantage to the other drivers being on the fresh compact tyres, but this could be rather nice points maybe for Apex or Saki being so far up on the hard compact tyres. But let's not forget there's still 17 laps of this race left to go. So we'll stay on board with James and just wait for the rest of the drivers to catch up to the safety car. It looks like we're just waiting on Joe and a few other cars. I believe that's a Haas, George and LH44. LH44 has gone for the hard compact tyres. Looks like he's not going to want to be pitting again, and he's going to be trying to get as far up the grid as possible to try and close the gap to James in the championship. But currently James is leading, so that does not do him any favours at all. So James currently leading, followed by Jesper in P2. Webster is in Webster. It's Webstappen. I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Webstappen is in P3. Curly is in P4. He has moved up 7 positions. Apex is in P5, moving up 5 positions. Saki has moved up 9 positions. He is in P6. Village in P7. Blythe in P8. He has lost 5 positions. However, He is on fresh compound tyres, and he's not going to have to, fresh medium compound tyres, and he's not going to have to pit again. Scrolled is in P9, he has moved up 5 positions. Is he on fresh tyres as well? Yes, he is. Vano is just behind them on soft tyres now, I imagine. Vano's going to have to pit again, being on soft tyres. The Monkey Mafia is behind them in P11. LH44 after spinning at turn 4. Turn 4? Is it turn 4? No, turn 3. Or turn 2. He is now down in P12. George, his teammate, is in P13. Mr. Miggins is in P14. And to round them off is Joe in the Aston Martin. So hopefully safety car will be in this lap as all the drivers have caught up to each other. But we'll just have to wait and see. James currently leads us. So it looks like safety car is in this lap, so we will see how this one unfolds along the safety car restart. And it's like James has decided to go now, and I thought that was somebody going into the pits. It was just the safety car going into the pits. It looks like Saki is straight on the back of Apex. Is he going to be able to get past? It's like Apex is using a little bit of ERS. It looks like Saki's going to try and go around the outside. Doesn't look like he's got enough speed. And it's like now Spillage is going to try and make a move. It doesn't look like he's going to... Saki's going to have to back out a little bit, and they're going to be free. It looks like Saki has managed to get past Apex. What is happening here? It looks like now Apex is back past Saki. Blyther has moved up into P6. They are swapping and changing positions like it's nothing. Spillage is now trying to get past. Saki's given a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. And now the two Red Bulls are both going at it as well. But wow, they were swapping and changing positions. I wasn't sure what was going on then. Now, is Blyther going to be able to get past Apex? I imagine if I was Apex right now, I'd just let Blyther by, being his teammate. And I believe that is what Blyther, Apex is going to do. No, it looks like Apex is trying to fight it as well. But inevitably, Blyther does get past, being on the fresher tyres and the softer compound. Saki is currently under threat from Spillage. Now, Spillage, I imagine, is going to be able to get this move done. Obviously being on the fresher compound, and at the moment it looks like Saki has got a little bit of damage to his car on the side pod, or am I seeing things? I'm not too sure, but Spillage does get the move done going into turn, crap, what's that turn? The last corner. And now Saki is now chasing down Spillage along the straight, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to get past. LH44 has moved up into P11, getting past the Monkey Mafia. Now the top 4 are currently separated all by at least 1 second, so not too much going on up there, so we'll keep our eyes further down the order. Spillage currently still chasing down Saki, 5 tenths away from being able to get past the 2 Red Bulls, and now pulling that gap a little bit to the rest of the pack. Looks like Blyther has caught up Curly and will probably be looking to get past as quickly as possible. Now what is LH44 doing? He's diving down the inside at the hairpin on Vano. That is a lovely move, but is Vano going to be able to come back? Now, these two have had some nice battles between each other. Vano is on the fresher compound tyre. Now, has Vano got this position? Looks like no, he hasn't. Looks like LH44 does manage to get past. But will Vano be able to come back at LH44? LH44 is using ERS. Vano is going to try and go down the inside at turn 11. Now, is he going to be able to keep this move? Yes or no? Looks like LH44 does keep it for another turn longer. But Vano is going to look to try and get back past LH44, I'd imagine, being on the fresher tyres. But it looks like LH44 has formed a little bit of a gap now. And Vano might be under threat from other drivers. Blyther does get past Curly on the last corner, but now is DRS enabled is the question. Not yet, but I don't think Curly is going to need DRS as he has got a lot more speed than Blythe currently. Now who's going to brake later? It looks like Curly's going to brake, but it looks like Blythe is going to go for the switch back end. Wow, that was a lovely move. Keeps his P4, and now Curly might be under threat from Apex, and in fact, yes he is. In fact, he does lose out to Spillage as well, so if anything, Blythe had done Apex a favour there. And wow, they braked very late, nearly going up the back of the Red Bull there, and now H44 does manage to get past the McLaren driver on the main straight. We have a few battles going on right now on the track. With only 13 laps left to go, we are over half-pace in his Grand Prix. James does look to have formed a 3-second gap so far to Jesper, but obviously Jesper is on the harder compound tyres. Now see yellow sector 2. Who is that? I believe it is at this hairpin. No, it's not. It's fine. Nobody's crashed. We're all okay. We're still racing. But now Spillage is going to try and get past Apex. Now, with the DRS advantage, he isn't going to be able to do so. Now, what is LH44 doing? Looks like he's not close enough to Saki just yet. We'll keep our eyes on this little pack right now. Fight for 6th. And a little bit further back, all these drivers, 6th to 11th, are all within 1 second of each other. So a lot of drivers all close together. It's what we like to see. But now, Spillage might be under threat from Curly, and is Curly going to be able to make the move going into turn 11? Yes, he is. This is beautiful for Apex, as he does not have to worry too much about a car being super close behind him. But now Spillage is coming into the pits. So LH44 now is on the back of Saki. In fact, he's got past Saki going into turn 1. How late will Saki brake? Not as late as LH44, but LH44 does outbrake himself a little bit and clips Curly. I wonder if he picked up any damage. But that's Saki keeping his position. And that's just like Vano's losing a little bit there, and that's Vano in the wall. It looks like Vano lost it on the exit, and because of that, he just collected Scrolled. I don't think that's Scrolled fault one bit. I think that's just unfortunate that Vano lost it on the exit there and just collected Scrolled with him. That's 2 McLarens now almost taken out of this race. Now, will that be a safety car? It doesn't look like it. Are we not going to get a safety car? No, we're not. So, no safety car deployed. Now, the McLaren driver has scrolled up. Well, personally, me, if I was him, I'd be absolutely fuming right now. But unfortunately, he's not going to be getting a safety car. And that looks like Saki now has lost it. We've just seen Saki lose it as well. How do you lose it there? He was on the straight, wasn't he? Like the little straight bit after turn 12. So that's 2 drivers gone in quick succession now, and I believe as long as you finish this race, you'll be getting points. That's good news for Joe, who's currently enjoying his Sunday drive at the back of the grid in the Aston Martin. Took my shoes very well. But that'll be Apex now going down the inside, side by side with Curly. Now, will Apex be able to come back at Curly or not? Now, it looks like LH44 is trying to pounce on these 2 battling, because that LH44 is now past Apex. But who's going to brake later? Again, very close. Looks like LH44 has got the move done on Apex, and he positioned his car very well there to be on the outside. Now, LH44 is going to look to try and chase down Curly, who is on the medium compound tyres, but I believe LH44 has got much more fresher tyres. And obviously we do know, being in P2 in the championship, he has got a lot of pace in that Alfa Romeo. So will LH44 with the pace advantage? You saw him wobble the little back end there. Now, is that going to give Apex a chance to get past? No, it's not. So LH44 now still looking to try and get past Curly, and I think he might have tapped the back of Curly there. I'm not too sure. But it looks like he's going to get the move done. But I don't think he wants to get the move done before the main straight, as he will just be passed again due to the DRS advantage. So he's going to stay behind Curly going into the final corner. Now, here is where he will get past with the DRS advantage. Curly doesn't stand a chance. And you can see there, he does move to the defensive line, but LH44 is going to be past him by that time anyway. Now is Apex. Look at the speed Apex has got from the slipstream of LH44, and it looks like Apex might be able to make this move. He does go a little bit deeper for the inside, and that is a beautiful move if he gets this done. Curly really squeezing him to the track limits there. Now, is he going to be able to keep this going into turn 4? Now, they do squeeze each other, and they do tap a little bit, and because of that, Curly has lost it. There was contact made there, and there was not too much room, but, I mean, it wasn't impossible, and that now moves Curly down into P8. So, well, once we had a lot of drivers battling, now we've got one within 1 second of each other, and it just always happens, doesn't it? So I'm going to have to try and get the dictionary out and try and think of some words to say to not bore you guys. And, well, we've had 6 drivers crash out so far, with 10 laps to go. If we keep that up, we should end the race with 9 drivers. 10, 9, yeah, 10. No, 9. God, I'm not very good at maths. But anyway, it looks like the Monkey Mafia is on the back of George, so we will have some entertainment to watch. Yeah, Nilla, I did see your report going into turn 1. Well, there's not really much to say about it, and that is LH44 now up into the podium place. Looks like James has put on the medium compound tyres. Now we might have a fight here to watch between James and LH44 with 9 laps left. James is 4 seconds away from LH44. Now this could get very interesting indeed. The Monkey Mafia, you can see they're breezing past George in the Alfa Romeo. But yeah, Nilla, I did see your report, and well, I mean, none of it was your fault. Just got taken out, really, didn't you? Going into turn 1, I wasn't too sure what happened, but after watching that, it just appears that Friesen outbraked himself, and you just got collected in the process, which isn't ideal, and it's happened to me before, and I know the feeling. It is very frustrating. Because you try so hard and then you get damage from somebody else, and it's like, are you serious? But anyway, George is looking to fight back with the Monkey Mafia, so this is the battle for P6 currently, but George does have a 5-second time penalty. I believe that is due to speeding in the pit lane. And we also have James now stuck behind Apex. Now, how much is Apex going to hold up James is the question. Looks like the Monkey Mafia is trying to break the toe, but looks like James is trying to go down the inside of Apex. Now, is he going to be able to get the move done? He does wobble a little bit. Now, where is Apex? Apex isn't even going to fight it. Now, we have a fight on our hands. 7, 8 laps left of this Grand Prix. James is 3.2 tenths away from LH44. That's already down to 3 seconds. And LH44 is on the harder compound tyre and on older tyres, so that will be a very interesting battle to see, and I'm sure we'll see it rather soon. George still within 1 second of the Monkey Mafia, so he will be getting DRS along this straight. Now let's have a look at the tyre difference between these two, and you can see there the Monkey Mafia being on the 8 lap old mediums, he will be a little bit quicker on the straights. And behind them, they do have Webster on fresh shots, so he's going to be chasing them down. So we will get some battling near the end of this session. So you can see the gap already down to 2.2 seconds between LH44 and James. So it will not be long until we see them two battling it out for P3. Blythe currently sat in P2. He does have a penalty. Now, what is that penalty for? Looks like it'll be for exceeding track limits. Now, I'm surprised we've only got, oh no, George is a 3-second time penalty. 2 drivers with exceeding track limits currently. And Webstappen sets the fastest lap of the race at 129.4. Obviously, he wants that extra point, being in P8. Now, you can see just in front of them is, no, just behind them, sorry, is Webstappen already. Now, he has caught up very quickly indeed. I am surprised at how quickly he has caught up. James will now have LH44 in his sights, 1.6 seconds away. But it looks like George has slightly fallen out of the DRS. Now this could be a really good opportunity for Verstappen here to be able to make the move on George. Now you can see the pace difference between these two cars, the soft versus the medium compound tyre, and well, that will give James a lot of hope for the fight against LH44. Obviously you can't see this fight, but you get what I mean. But it looks like George is trying to fight back a little bit, but I don't think he has got the pace to do so. But we will now turn our attention to this battle here for P3 between the two championship leaders, P1 and P2. Now obviously LH44 is at a disadvantage for this battle. Now how much will he fight this? And it doesn't look like he's going to fight it at all. Is he trying to play games? Is he trying to get the DRS for the next straight? It doesn't look like he's going to be close enough to make a move. So it looks like James is going to get a nice easy pass there. I didn't expect that. Looks like LH44 is going to settle for 4th, knowing that James will not be increasing the gap a little bit too much on him, as him and Blythe are 8 tenths away. Now James has just set the fastest lap of the race, fastest lap for one. But we'll now hop back down with the Monkey Mafia and Verstappen, as these two are hunting down Apex in that Red Bull. And we'll see how easy it is for them to get past this Red Bull, as we saw how easy it was for Verstappen to pass George on the straight with the pace advantage of the soft compound tyres. I'm sure he's not going to have a problem in that Williams getting past these cars in front. So 6 laps left of this Grand Prix. Jesper currently leading this one, and he may be looking at a win. Now Jesper, what strategy did you do? Because I need to do this in the Division 1 race. He has gone for a 1 soft. Looks like it was soft on the medium compound tyre, so it might have been a faster strategy. Hopefully there's no Division 1 drivers in here that are going to be watching this to try and get an idea of what strategy to use. But I know which one I'm going to be using now. Obviously I have to bear in mind there was 2 safety cars, so yeah, I got to be careful there. Now James does pick up a 3-second time penalty, and that is going to be music to Blythe's ears, as he may now be looking at a P2, as I believe James might have been able to catch him 3.7 seconds within the remaining laps. Now Jesper should be pretty comfortable here now to be able to take the win, but I don't know how quickly those medium compound tyres are going to drop off in that Aston Martin. We'll hop back on board. Actually, LH44 will be maybe in contention of getting a P3 here if he can keep within 3 seconds of James. Now obviously depends when those medium tyres start to lose a little bit of their pace. And here we can see Verstappen trying to line up a move on his teammate the Monkey Mafia. We'll see if he can do so. Not this straight, but maybe another straight he will be able to get past his teammate in Williams. But yeah, there's 4 laps remaining. James is not catching Blythe enough to be able to take P2 at all, because he will still have to pass him as well due to the penalty. Jesper has surely now got 1st place, unless he does crash out. Now I'm going to shut up, because commentator curse is a thing, and I don't want Jesper to crash out, because that would be a disaster. If he crashes out, it's not my fault. I'm just saying. But anyway, Verstappen now still stuck behind his teammate, the Monkey Mafia. Now being on the softer compound tyres, this is not what you want, and we'll see how long it does take him to get past. Now surely he's losing a little bit of pace on those soft compound tyres. The Monkey Mafia is going to try and go around the outside of Apex. Now is he going to get the move done? Verstappen, what are you doing? You're just sitting back and watching these two. Now these two find out what's going to happen. Verstappen might be able to make a move here, and he might be able to make a move now, going down the inside of Monkey Mafia. Looks like Monkey Mafia does defend the inside line, but will, with the grip that Verstappen has, be able to get past the Monkey Mafia before turn 10? I believe he will. So due to them two battling, Verstappen has now gone past his teammate Are we able to hunt down Apex? Now Apex just made his life a whole lot harder with now a soft tire runner just behind him. We saw how easy Verstappen got past George, but obviously that was with fresh off, so we'll see how easy it is for the Verstappen now to get past Apex, if he can get past Apex at all. I mean, if Jesper keeps this up and Joe keeps it up, they might be seeing each other. One teammate laughing another? Oh no. Anyway, we're stepping now down the main straight. He's got the DRS advantage and he's got the pace advantage. He's going to get past Apex before he even needs to get to the corner, and you can see the gap that they've got when it comes to the braking zone. And that was a nice easy move for the Williams driver, who will now go on to try and keep 5th place. I don't think he'll be catching LH44 with 3 laps left to go. And a nice little helicopter shot there of our championship leader currently. James is currently sat in P3, does have a 3-second time penalty, so he will not be able to try and get into P2, as Blyther also has a 3-second time penalty. Jesper just chilling out in front, enjoying life really, not much to worry about, and well, he's sat in P1. With penalties applied, a 7-second lead. Now what's happened here is Blyther lost some time. It looks like Blyther lost quite a bit of time there. So James is now down to 2.2 seconds, so Blyther just don't get another fucking penalty. Oh, I swore, I'm sorry. Anyway, LH44 is out of the question for getting a podium now, as he is 6 seconds away from James. Those hard compound tires just not being able to keep up with the pace of the other drivers. But the Monkey Mafia now chasing down Apex. We will keep our eyes on this battle for the remaining 3 laps of this Grand Prix. And I believe that is my invite to the Division 1. Hey, it's going to be finished in time. Anyway, the Monkey Mafia hunting down Apex. Will he be able to get past? Now let's look at the tyre difference. It looks like the Monkey Mafia does have 14 lap old medium, so I believe their tyres may be very similar in pace currently right now, as those medium tyres do drop off a little bit quicker than the hards. So the Monkey Mafia with DRS, will he be able to get past Apex here? He looks to have dropped a little bit further back. Going through the corners now, so those medium compound tyres must be coming to the end of their lives. But hold on, James is 1 second behind Blyther. Blyther, no! Let's see the tyre difference. They got 8 lap younger tyres for Blyther. Now will he be able to hold James behind him? Now with the DRS, I think he is going to struggle. He's only got 2 laps left remaining. Blyther does have a little bit more ERS than James, so we'll see if Blyther will be able to keep James behind him, but being on the 8 lap older medium tyres, he is at a massive disadvantage right now. And Joe does pick up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. So James just hunting down Blyther now, and I don't think Blyther stands too much of a chance, if I'm totally honest, due to the tyre difference. But we'll see if Blyther can keep him behind. Obviously, he's only got this lap and next lap to go, so he almost is able to keep P2, but I think he's just going to run a little bit out of time. Now, James does go over the curb there, which means I don't know if he is going to be able to get past Blyther. Now, I imagine Blyther will move to the defensive line. No, he will not. It's like James probably picking out another exceeding track limits, which will make Blyther a little bit happier, as he will know now that James is one more exceeding track limit closer to possibly getting another penalty. Now, if I was Blyther, I'd actually lift off the throttle a little bit here and let James Blythe try and have DRS going along the main straight, but it doesn't look like he is going to do that. And now I imagine James is just going to breeze by with the DRS. breezed by with the DRS advantage, and you can see there with the slipstream as well, he's got the move done, but how much is Blythe going to fight back? You can see him switch on that ERS now, just like he's going to try and make a move on this straight coming up, and he does clip the curb. That's not what he would have wanted. So will Blythe be able to retake P2? He's done good at reclaiming the positions he's lost so far, especially in quali. We saw him reclaim pole position a few times, but it looks like James is going very fast indeed now. Blythe is going to want to keep the car on the track and not lose the grip, so he might have to settle for P3. Monkey Mafia is making a move on Apex in the Red Bull. It doesn't look like he was able to do so. So it looks like he will be staying just there, but will Blythe be able to find some pace now? He's already 1 second behind James, so I imagine he will not be close enough to do so. Now Jesper will stay on board with the Aston Martin driver, as he's made this strategy work to be able to take first place as long as he doesn't crash. But you can see he's taking his time, no need to rush it, and he's going to be the winner of round 8 in Bahrain. So the Aston Martin driver comes across the line to win in Bahrain, started P2, finished P1, he is the winner of round 8. James comes across the line with a late move to take P2. Blythe will settle for P3, did not move up or down any positions. LH44 will come across the line to recover into P4. Webstappen will come over the line to take P5, followed by Apex in the Red Bull. He managed to keep the Monkey Mafia at bay behind him. The Monkey Mafia will come home to take P7. George will take P8. Spillage will come across the line in Avatar to take P9. Curly will come across the line to take P10 eventually. And then we have Scrolled, and Joe's only just shy of his 29th lap, really, hasn't he? So we'll just wait for Joe to hop round the track slowly but surely. As Scroll now comes across the line to take P11, I believe that is 2 points for 11th in our league, and Joe will come home to take the final point in P12 for Aston Martin. 1 winning and 1 getting 12th, so 1 at the top of the points, 1 at the bottom of the points. That's okay. But anyway, congratulations to Jesper, he has made the strategy work. I'm about to message him what lap he pitted the softs on, so I know for my race, because I actually can't remember what lap he put the medium tyres on from the softs. But in my opinion, driver of the day will probably be LH44 or Jesper, one of them two. LH44 made a good recovery drive, but he did spin a couple of times. He could have been higher up than what he was, so I'm going to give it to Jesper actually. Just making the strategy work, and you can see his best lap time was 1 second slower than James, so it was just strategy and consistency for Jesper. So congratulations to them, thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you next week where we are in Jeddah, which is going to be a very interesting race indeed.